Welcome to my program, Journey to Great Business. My name is Rajiv Jaiswal and I'm a business consultant. I have put together the series of videos called Journey to Great Business, which gives you great pointers to tell you what are some of the things that you can actually do in your business to make your business great. So today I am going to be talking to you about something very important, and that is about business planning. How do you actually go about planning your business, and what are the things that you do to improve your business? So this is a two-part video. In the first part, let's see what's a business plan. So business plan is like any other plan. You first decide what you want to accomplish, what is it that you want to reach, and then once you've decided that this is where I want to go, you lay down your plans, you lay down what you want to do, and then just follow the plan to reach your goal and to make your company great. This is what you actually need to do. It's pretty straightforward. So let's see, what is a business plan? Why is it that we should make a plan? And should how should we make it? Once you've decided to make a plan, how should we make it? And what are the benefits that will accrue to the company that makes a business plan? And how will it be better than those who don't make a business plan? So let's see. Let's first see. So business plan is a written document. It's something not in the head of the entrepreneur, but it is something that you write down. It is a written document that describes what all you need to do within the business and outside the business, which is actually going to help you to reach your goal, right? It integrates all the plans: marketing, sales, manufacturing, finance, human resources. All functions get integrated into this business plan. So it's like a step by step approach, a step by step process of what you have to do in order to make your business venture very, very successful. So, where do you start? What are the first things that you should do? Should you go to Google? Should you go for a training to understand how a business plan is made? You can go to a seminar to understand what are the things you need to do for making a business plan. Yes, all of those things you can do to make a business plan. But I'm here, I'm going to tell you exactly what you should do from within your company that can actually help you to make a business plan. So when you are here, when you come back from any training or anywhere else, or even if you're in your own company, this is where you are standing in the middle. You don't know what to do. Left, right, every direction seems to be a good place to go. So what is it that you should do? So in my analysis, in my opinion, the first thing you should do for preparing any great business plan is to create a SWOT analysis. Now, if you look, the strengths and the weaknesses are always inside the company. What are my strengths and what are my company's weaknesses are inside. And outside are the opportunities and the threats. What are business opportunities and what threats I can have. So I've just taken a few pointers as example for to explain the point to you, but you will need to do this for your own company. So let's look at the strengths. Let's say what some of the strengths that I have in my company are that I have a good and a loyal customer base, and my quality of products is very good. People have a great brand recall about my product, and the USP is quite clear, well differentiated from my uh, competitors. Now, what do we do with the strengths? First of all, we look at the strengths and we see how we can build on our strengths. We talk about it in a little more detail, but just to say how we can build on our strengths, the loyal customer base that I have, how do I leverage it? How do I make use of it to get more business? And what are the products that can be integrated or added more to my USP that will help me to sell more. Now let's look at the weaknesses. So let's say some of the weaknesses is that because I have a very good product, good quality, my production costs are high. My the manpower needed for my manufacturing, I don't have appropriate manpower, and there is a very inefficient internal process. So what do we do for the weaknesses? First of all, we try to overcome the weakness. अगर मेरे पास मैन पावर नहीं है तो मैं मैन पावर कैसे रिक्रूट करूं, right? But otherwise, if I cannot remove it, I should find ways that can reduce the impact of these weaknesses. So I may should do an analysis of why my production cost is high. Is it because uh, my machines are outdated, whatever the reasons are, right? Why? Uh, what is it that I can do to reduce the cost of my production? Sometimes what happens, my people are not trained, they have a lot of rejection, they are slow in making, my machinery is old, or I need a new some form of automation which can help me to improve the quality and improve the speed of production. All of these things we need to analyze in our company so that we are able to find ways to reduce the impact of the weaknesses. Then we have the opportunities. Now, let's say in the opportunities there are some markets which I have not covered, or in the market where I am, I still have more opportunities. I can penetrate this market better, right? I have new products which I'm going to launch this year. So, what is it that is going to happen? Maybe there's a very positive government policy coming in, which can also now help me to sell more. I have, greater manufacturing capability. So, with the opportunities, what is it? How can I use this opportunity? How can I encash this opportunity? How can I always make sure that I will be able to benefit from the opportunities? Maybe if you have new products coming in, we can analyze the competition for their product prices and policies and find the areas that they are weak in so that I can penetrate those areas where my competition is weak. Or if there's a good government policy, what I can do to benefit or to capture it or to leverage it, right? So, any opportunity that is there in the market, we should find ways and means to encash the opportunities. Now, there are threats. Now, these threats are usually outside the company. They are threats which are happening because of the environment in which we are working. Like today, you saw that there is a COVID situation. This is a threat which was not expected. We had the first one, we were not even aware of it, but for the second one, we were a little more aware. So, what are the threats that can happen? How can we mitigate the effect of the threat? So, if there's competition, there's government change in policy. What can I do? So, many times the threat may not even happen. We think that some things will happen which can impact our business in the form of a threat, but it's not always necessary that all the threats will happen. But even if one threat happens, if I have already prepared a mitigation strategy, means something that can reduce the effect of the threat or reduce the impact of that threat on my business, then I will be faster to react to that. I will be faster to correct on that, and so the impact of that threat will be much less on my business. So I should do this analysis. So once I have all my strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats, and I have done the analysis of how we can leverage them, then we use the SWOT to make an action plan. Now, with all my past sales data, I pull out my past sales data and we use the forecasting method to forecast sales. Now, from the strengths and opportunities, we find areas that can help us to improve the sale, expand customer base, expand territory of selling, exploit the customer's weaknesses, competitors' weaknesses, so that we can sell more, and benefit from the opportunities. Based on all of this, we will have a sales figure for the company. Now, once we have the sales figure, we define इस सेल्स फिगर को अचीव करने के लिए मुझे क्या क्या रिसोर्सेज चाहिए. What resources do I need in manpower? What are resources I need in money? Do I need in terms of any other infrastructure, quality control, new products, or advertising campaign, or a new website? All of these things will be what are the things I require to do, should be documented in the plan. It should be documented कि ये चीज करनी है, ये कब करनी है, कहाँ पे करनी है, किसके साथ करनी है. कुछ हमारे पास एक ब्रॉड इंडिकेशन होना चाहिए. वाई? क्योंकि all resources are not needed at the same time, right? Your sales people, you may want to hire your sales people first, right? But to to your increased production, which will happen because of more business, will happen after 2 months, because the sales will take some time to get generated. So your money required for raw material will come out after some point of time. So for each of these, we have to define what is going to be needed when, and how much money and how much time it will take, right? And हर एक चीज एक बिजनेस ओनर नहीं कर सकता है. सो हु इज गोइंग टू फॉलो अप ईच एलिमेंट? इफ इट्स एन इंक्रीज इन प्रोडक्शन, who will follow up that? If there's requirement of more finance, who will follow up that? If there is more sales to be done, or there's a new product to be developed, or there's a new advertising campaign to be developed, who will do that so that everything gets done at the right time? Or this whole effort that we are going to put, it should be put on the total timeline of the year, of a calendar. That means if we have 12 months in the business year, then in each of the months, what are we going to do? We have to think forward, put it together, and put it like a plan so that we know month to month what are we expected to do. I know it may not 100% match with what we actually happen on ground, but this becomes a good reference benchmark for us to plan, for us to know what we want to do, and to know if we are deviating from the plan, how can we correct it, or why are we deviating from this plan, right? And once we have done all of this, we will always find that there are some weaknesses. So we can find ways to reduce weaknesses. Many times there are some things which are not in our core strength, right? And it is better to subcontract those things which are not in our core strength, or to collaborate with somebody who can provide the value addition, or the infrastructure, or the delivery mechanism for which we can do. For example, if you take people like Zomato and Swiggy. Now they are not making food; they are only delivering. The people who are making food, it was not in their core strength to deliver food. So what have they done? They have relied on people like Zomato and Swiggy to deliver food for them. This has increased their reach. It has increased their sale. If every company wanted to start delivering on its own, it would not have helped, right? So that's why it's always better to collaborate and find people who can help you to deliver value to your client and become more cost effective and remove or reduce the impact of your weakness. So a business plan maps the future. It talks about what we want to achieve, when we want to achieve. We break it down into small detail of what is required, what is the timeline for the requirement, when is a new product going to be required, what kind of new products required, which markets are we going to penetrate, and when are we going to start, so any advertising campaign, etc., etc. So it gives us an overall understanding of what we have to do. Now I'm going to talk about the other part of the other part of the business plan, which talks about how exactly is this business plan helping you. What are the things that a business plan does for you, that allows you to really benefit from this business plan. So please look for the next video called Business Plan Part 2. And thank you so much for listening to me, listening to my Journey to Great Business program. If you like the program, you can subscribe to it. You can also press the bell icon so that you get notified when our next video comes in. And please do comment in the comment box. I will be happy to reply to you. Thank you for listening.